They say time heals all wounds, but they never tell you that time also has a funny way of bringing. I wasn't Ayla. I was just Rahan's wife, the woman who kept the house warm, who folded the laundry before anyone noticed, and who hid the cracks no one wanted to see. I believed in forever. I believed that if you loved someone with your whole heart, your loyalty would be the anchor that kept everything from breaking. But sometimes, the things you hold together with love still fall apart in your hands. But anchors only work if the ship actually wants to stay in the harbor. REHAN. He wanted the storm. It didn't happen overnight. It was a slow erosion. You know that feeling when the person sitting right next to you feels 1,000 miles away? It started with the late nights. The office is drowning me, he'd say. Then came the phone always face down on the nightstand, a digital fortress I wasn't allowed to enter. I'd ask him, Rahan, are you okay? Are we okay? And he'd give me that look, that cold, hollow look that makes you feel like you're being crazy for noticing the house is on fire. I'm just tired. Ayla, stop overthinking everything. But a woman's intuition isn't overthinking. It's the soul's way of whispering that the ground is about to give way. One Tuesday, I'll never forget the smell of the rain that night I heard it. A whisper, not the sharp, stressed tone he used with me. It was a softness, a laugh I hadn't heard in years. He was talking to her, Sarah. She was everything I wasn't allowed to be anymore. Younger, glamorous, a breath of fresh air, as he later called her. I stood in the kitchen, the cold water overflowing from my glass, and I just froze. My heart didn't break yet. It just went numb. I realized I wasn't losing my husband. The confrontation wasn't a shouting match. I had already lost him months ago. I didn't have the energy to scream. When he finally said the words, I don't love you anymore. I want to be with her. It felt like a physical blow to the chest. Rahan, she makes me feel alive. Ayla, you're just a habit. Imagine that. 10 years of building a life, reduced to a habit. I looked at him, and I didn't beg. I didn't cry, not then. I just said, if you believe she's better for your life, then go. The sound of that suitcase zipping up was the loudest sound I've ever heard. And when the front door clicked shut, the silence that followed was deafening. I started small. I went back to the career I'd sidelined. I started lifting weights not for the body, but for the strength. I learned to enjoy the silence of my own home. I wasn't Rahan's wife anymore. I was just Ayla, and Ayla was actually pretty incredible. Meanwhile, the perfect life Rahan chased started to crumble. Sarah loved the idea of Rahan, the successful man who bought her jewelry and took her to, but she didn't love the man. 5-star dinners. She didn't know how he liked his coffee when he was stressed. She didn't care that his business was struggling. To her, he was an ATM with a pulse. The social media photos? They were lies. Behind every filtered vacation photo was an argument about money. Behind every cute couple selfie was Sarah flirting with someone else the moment Rahan turned his back. He sacrificed a diamond for a piece of glass that caught the light. 6 months later, my phone buzzed. I didn't even have his name saved anymore. Rahan on phone, cracking voice, Ayla. I made a mistake. Everything is gone. She left me for someone else. She took everything. Ayla narrator. A few nights later, there was a knock. I opened the door to find a man I barely recognized. He looked like he'd aged a decade. His eyes were bloodshot. His shoulders slumped. The man of the house was now a beggar at the gates. He fell to his knees right there on the porch. The same porch where he'd walked out without a second glance. I'm so sorry, he sobbed. I want to come home. In that moment, I realized something. I didn't hate him. I didn't even want revenge. I just .did single quotes to know him. I looked him in the eyes and said, Rahan, you didn't break my heart. You broke your own destiny. You didn't lose me to another man. You lost me to the woman and I became while you were gone. Rehan, please, I have nowhere else to go. Ayla, I told him. The home you're looking for doesn't exist anymore. I didn't keep it warm for you. I kept it warm for me. I gently closed the door. It wasn't an act of malice. It was an act of self-respect. Ayla say never leave a loyal woman for a temporary thrill. Because loyalty isn't a doormat, it's a choice. And once that choice is revoked, it never comes back. Pain teaches us how to rise. And once a woman realizes she can survive without the person she thought she needed, she becomes unstoppable. To anyone out there sitting in the silence of a broken home, hang on. The door closing is just the sound of your new life beginning. Life has a quiet way of teaching lessons to those who forget the value of a sincere heart. When someone walks away from loyalty in search of excitement, they don't find happiness. They lose peace. Temporary attraction may look beautiful for a moment, but it can never replace genuine love, patience, and respect. A loyal woman does not beg. She does not shout. She simply feels, and then she heals. And when a woman heals, she does not return to the place that broke her, not because she holds hatred, but because she finally learns self-respect. Love is not about charm or promises. Love is about staying when it's hard, about choosing the same person every single day. Many people realize the worth of a good heart only after life teaches them its absence. Remember this: people don't come back because they truly love you. They come back because life showed them what they lost when they chose wrong. So choose loyalty over temptation. Choose respect over desire. Because once a woman finds peace within herself, no apology, no tears, and no regret